Last week, we talked about connecting splines and achieving something very close to G3 continuity using SOLIDWORKS splines, despite the fact that SOLIDWORKS doesn't officially support G3 continuity. Well, this week, we're going to do that again, but using a different technique. Last week, you see, we used traditional splines in SOLIDWORKS, but SOLIDWORKS 2014 added an entirely new type of spline that's going to give us even more flexibility as we put this together, and actually it's a little bit easier to work with to boot. So if you're in 2014, this may actually be the better way to go. I'm going to delete that spline I created last week, head up to my spline tools, drop it down, and create a style spline. This is new as of 2014, should be in all future versions, and I'm going to click once, and different from other splines, rather than just creating a 2-point spline, I am going to create a number of points to generate this spline. And you notice as I go, it's drawing the CV points rather than a through-point interpolated spline, which is much, much easier to work with as a designer in my case. I'll hit Escape to drop that tool, and right-click this and show the curvature combs. Now you can see we're already quite close. I'm going to click this, Control-click this curve, we'll make those equal curvature, and now simply by tugging on these points, I can gradually massage this into place. Now, it looks like I don't have quite enough geometry here to make it very easy to control this and get it just perfect. Things are still moving a little bit too quickly for me, so I can't really just dial this in and get it just perfect. So what I'm going to do is click that curve, head over to its properties, and increase the curve degree. And when I do that, it will add more points to my curve, and those points will make it easier for me to gradually adjust this curve. So you can see that now it's much, much simpler for me to control it. And if it weren't, I can always go even further. I can always select the curve, increase the degree again, giving myself more points, and therefore making it theoretically easier to control the endpoint. I will say, though, that there is a diminishing return here, and in fact, at a certain point, it does get prohibitively difficult to work with the curve as you go up and up with the degree. So actually, in general, I would recommend keeping it down around 4-ish. And what I do is move these until it's quite close, and then I'll lock down a point. So just click on the first point, fix that in space. Now when I move the second point, it's giving me a little bit, it's kind of less of a moving target. It's not moving both points, it'll only move that one point. Get that really close, then I'll take that and fix it. Then I'll move to the third point and move that until I feel like we finally have the exact curvature that I want. So you can move down recursively like that and eventually get an extremely smooth curve. And it's generally going to be more robust than the old interpolated splines anyway. It's a much smoother curve. All right? Have fun with that. Keep in touch. Let us know how you do. Talk to you later. See ya.